Hello guys, Lang here, how you doing? Today I want to present you my League starter plan for upcoming Mirage League. I will be playing Exsanguinate Reap Trickster again. This won't be a typical League starter video build guide. I will cover most basics of the build and I will focus more about what and how I'm planning to farm with the build on day 1, 2 and 3 of the league. Spoilers ahead, it's gonna be Blight related. If I fuck something up, worry not. There will be a plenty of informations linked in YouTube descriptions to save you. For example, full Exsanguinate Reap, league starter guides from Aeroplane, Fearless Dumbo, and a maxroll guide from Cpt Garabge. Big shout out to the guys. Basically, I collected all informations like Exodia cards to come up with this video. Enjoy watching. It's a one button build. We just run around, press Exsanguinate, and everything should die. Exsanguinate is a physical spell skill that we fully convert to cold. The way it works is quite simple. We pay a portion of our life to shoot blood tendrils at enemies. Tendrils have zero travel duration, meaning they can hit enemies instantly. Adding mines to the mix will give us auto-targeting and some additional DPS scaling options.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
The build feels insane to play, the mapping experience is triple S tier. This build however has one major downside, it's squishy as fuck. If you are not freezing enemies, you die. If you get hit by something, you probably die. If you are not throwing mines and off-screening enemies, you die. If you don't dodge mechanics, you die. If you think you don't die, you will probably end up dying. For defensive scaling we will have evasion rating from our gear, flask, skill tree and grace, white screen freeze since we fully convert exsang to cold, around 100% spell suppression, ghost dance, energy shield recovery when we get hit, element avoidance, mediocre life and energy shield pool, and resistance capped. For offensive scaling, here is a list of mods you want on your gear and skill tree. I'm gonna read some of them. So for example, +2 level of all skill gems or physical skill gems, increased spell damage, cold damage, physical damage or mind damage, increased mine throwing speed, increased critical strike chance and critical strike multiplier, and etc. So how to level up the build? To my knowledge, there are two valid options. First thing you can do is rolling magma into pyroclast mines and then transition into final build. Second thing you can do is to start with rolling magma into power siphon and then fully transition into exsanguinate reap build. My preference is option number 2 since I already played it in past leagues and that's something I feel comfortable. I have detailed notes about whole leveling in path of building. As always, I will be linking everything in description. Whatever you choose, you can't go wrong with those two options. Okay, so when to swap from PS or Pyroclast mines to Exsanguinate Rebuild? I have run the transition 4 times in the past. I highly recommend getting most of the stuff from the list before swapping. The thing is, we're gonna be linking Exsanguinate with Minefield that give us 40% less mine throwing speed and high impact mines that give us 50% less damage at the start. And those two downsides are not easy to overcome early. If you swap too fast, it will feel like you were driving a really fast sport car and suddenly you went back to. Okay, so our gem setup on our main 6 links should look like this. It's either Reap for better single target or Exsanguinate for better clear. Later on we want to link Exsanguinate with Chain for Giga clear. The core always stays the same, so it's either Reap or Exsanguinate with Charge Mines, High Impact Mines and Minefield. Early on, I recommend getting Critical Strike support for Crit Chance Cap and Cold Penetration on a 6 link. Both of those gems doesn't have any downsides. And then later on, if you have better gear, you can get increased critical damage support or trap and mine damage support. Okay, when it comes to gearing, I will be linking my whole progression from Keeper's League in YouTube description. You can expect a path of buildings there from day 1 to day 7 of the league. If that's not enough, I really recommend checking out maxroll progression on a maxroll site. The link will be in YouTube description as well. I really recommend going through the path of building notes. You can find all useful informations here like leveling, gearing principles, ascendancy order, and etc. Okay, so that's kinda it for the basics of the build. For detailed gem setup, gearing principles, leveling and transitions, just follow the day one path of building for upcoming Mirage League. I also will be linking my previous path of buildings from Keepers League. There will be a whole progression from day 1 to day 7 of the previous league, so you can follow the gems, you can follow the gear upgrades, everything you need will be probably there. So now let's move to the second part of the video. Okay, so here are the changes to the Blight from patch notes for upcoming league. It's really hard to predict state of Blight in upcoming league. Some people might say it's gonna be good, some people might say it's gonna be shit. You cannot really predict those kind of things until you fully test it. In short, Blight will drop less gold, the gold ratio got reduced, adjust. There was some changes to the Blight passives on Atlas skill tree, so we will get less monsters, and but we will get more quantity of items drops. And if you are going for blighted scarabs farming, there will be less monsters spawning. However, with addition of Mirage League mechanics, with the blobs, and with changes to the ground loot, I think it will be a still decent strat to try. Okay, I apologize. My voice is kinda dying, so I'm gonna speedrun this. Okay, so rewards from the Blight, from Blighted chests to be precise. Okay, so we can get random rewards like armors, weapon, common currency. We can get Blighted oils, we can get currency, Harbinger, and fossils got removed, meaning there will be more blighted chest with other types of reward. We can get jewelry, we can get divinations cards, map fragments, normal maps. We can get uniques, armors and weapons with possibility of a 5 or a 6 links, abyss jewel, essences, gems, talismans, labyrinth rewards, scarabs, legion, like almost everything. Okay, when it comes to farming Blight, one of the most important things is anointing your rings. Anoints of your rings will boost your towers that defends the pump. Basically, the two basics anoints are your meteors towers create burning ground for 3 seconds, and your chilling towers freeze enemies instead. To get those anoints, I will just switch them around. So, for example, for meteors towers burn, you want 1 indigo and 1 violet oil. And for chilling towers, you want 1 opaced and 1 silver oil. I usually do the chilling tower anoint on Markikuzaru, since I will be using Kikuzaru for probably day 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this will be a quick showcase of how I'm farming Blight with the Exsanguinate build. Basically, I go into a map. I start the encounter, and the only thing you need to know whenever you start the encounters and you have both of anoints, you want to build a choke point. And choke point is a place when you can perma CC all the monsters. So you want to build 1 seismic, 1 chilling, 1 empower, and then only then maybe 1 fireball tower. Upgrade everything to level 3, with exception of fire tower, where you want meteor tower, so the meteor tower creating burning ground can proc, and that's it. And you want to build as many choke points like this as possible, and basically then you position yourself away from the monsters, you look at minimap, and then you can off-screen everything. Even if they are bosses coming, they should be perma CC'd here. There are 2 mods to avoid on your normal maps and blighted maps. It's monsters cannot be stunned, and basic action speed cannot be removed, or basic action speed cannot be removed below 0 or something like that. And that's it. You just build choke point, You kill all the monsters, you finish the encounter, you collect loot, and you repeat. Okay, so when it comes to farming Blight, what I do at league start is I do my completion and I rush the Unvarying Vision keystone. This keystone will give us additional Atlas passive skill points. However, we cannot modify and we cannot find scarabs in our maps. Early on, it doesn't really matter because there isn't really that much scarabs on the market. So this is the acceptable trade-off. After taking these keystones, basically, I take all Blight nodes and I farm Blight in normal maps with a chance of getting blighted maps. Whenever I get a blighted map, I like to anoint it with Amber's oil for reduced cost of building and upgrading towers. This will make blight encounters in blighted maps kinda easy, because the towers will do most job for us. When I get better upgrades and my build is a bit stronger, then I drop 2 amber oils and I like to add verdant oils. Verdant oils will give us increased experience gain. It's really noticeable. For example, at level 83, if I make one tier 13 blighted maps, it will give me like 30 to 40% of experience, which is really good. Okay, so I'm gonna be farming blighted maps and normal maps with basic Atlas 3 till level 90. I want to get all upgrades that are in day 1 path of building. I want to do completion. I want to get at least 2 void stones. And after that, I will be dropping the Unavarying Vision. I will have around 130 points to allocate, and I will be switching to most advanced farm. It will be really gear related. Last league, I start to farm it with my day 2 POB. It will be linked in description. And basically what I want to do on league start, I want to recreate my tree for Keeper's League. So it looked something like this. It will work the same. And with this type of Atlas, I will be trying the following combinations of scarabs for farming. So it will be one titanic scarab of treasures, 2 wisp, and 1 blight heart, even though it was nerfed. And second option will be titanic, triple scarabs of treasure, and 1 blight heart. You can drop, you can adjust, you can switch them around, but basically Titanic and Blightheart is always the core, and you can basically drop the scarabs according to your build power. Okay, so the summary of farming Blight will be as following. So first I will farm Blight in normal maps with a chance to get blighted maps. I will farm them as well whenever I get my hands on them. I will be doing this till level 90. Whenever I do whole Atlas completion and get better gear, I will be moving to more advanced strategy. So I will be using scarabs, and I will try to recreate the tree from Keeper's League, and that's basically it. Okay, so here is how the Titanic Blight farm performed in previous league. This is the kind of loot we were getting. It's only a reference. It's really hard to predict if we will get the same amount of the loot. So what you are seeing on the screen is the loot explosions from my Titanic Blight video from previous leagues. Yeah, and that's kinda it. It's only a reference. With the changes to the Blight, it's really hard to predict if we will get the same amount of the loot, maybe more, maybe less, who knows until we test it. So that's it, that's the whole strat. Thank you for watching and see you next time.